I ended up editing hundreds of video files for, in the end, 22 experiments of general chemistry and organic chemistry. I learned how to use the software with their tutorial, and with so much practice that I used it so much, I picked up a lot of tricks as I went. By the end of it, I could edit a 15 minutes long video in about a day, which was pretty good. I wanted high resolution, clean, short, and interesting videos to watch for the students. And the students, as they watched those videos, they were active. They collected observations, data, results, and they had to do lab reports and calculations at the end. The one thing that I will not have time to talk about today is what we're going to do with these videos in the future. You have in front of you a few ideas, and there's going to be a Q&A session at the end of the 3 talks this morning. And if you want to have a discussion about this idea, that would be great maybe to have it later. And before I show you my video, I want to do my acknowledgements. Mariana Borja, she is our lab tech in the chemistry lab. She actually filmed the majority of all these videos. She learned how to use the camera. She set up she called it her own little Hollywood in the lab. She did amazing, and I cannot thank her enough to have done all this. The IT services at Campus Saint-Jean paid for the licenses for Camtasia, and I have to thank my teaching lab team. There are 6 of us. We manage the chemistry labs, the biology labs, and the physics lab at Campus Saint-Jean. We did everything online this year. It was very different and amazing amount of work that I have to thank everybody for doing this. So here is the video that I made for the talk. In the chat, if you have, if it's difficult for you to watch, you have the YouTube link, and let's watch it and enjoy.
I would like to start by showing how you can accelerate video clips that you shot in the lab into Camtasia. So for example here, this video is accelerated to 1.5 times its normal speed. So it's just a little faster. And it allows you to show something that's a little bit long, but where you want to actually show the whole process, like this weighing of this chemical right here. And without it looking too weird. It looks like this person is just a bit in a hurry. It's just a little bit accelerated. And in the long run, when I used it quite a bit, I saved some time in my video. You can also use acceleration in different instance. For example, here, this is a 25 minutes long reaction. So you're not going to give them a 25 minutes long video to watch. They'll never watch it. But you don't always want to show just the beginning or the end. You want them to see how this is all working. In this case, there is a change of color you'll see in the reagent. So you want them to see this. And as you'll see, this will go a lot faster, like right away. And it's accelerated to about 50 times its normal speed. So I could show it in 40 seconds. You could see a lot of things. You could see the reagent that's slowly being added. You could see the condenser doing its work. And you could see the color changes of that reaction. This was quite nice to be able to show to the students and quite interesting to watch. Another thing that was unexpected when we accelerated a video, so this is 10 times faster than the normal speed, and it's a recrystallization. And what happens here is you can already see it. You can see the crystals forming on the video, and it's really neat to watch, and you would not usually see it in the lab. Sometimes you just walk away and you don't see as it's cooling down the recrystallization of the solid. So this was for the acceleration. Now I want to talk about how you could overlay things on top of your videos. And there's 2 examples here. You can see there's a text box. You could add text box very nicely. You could add another video on top of a video, or a picture, or whatever you want. And the timers that I use is actually just a lab timer. I filmed it for 30 minutes and I have that file. And I could add this to the top of a video when I want to show time passing. And I could also accelerate that video of the timer to the same speed that I'm showing whatever clip I'm showing. So this was 10 times faster for both the beaker and the timer. There's an example here where I did a lot of it. Often a text box to tell the students which part of the experiment we're doing. You can see there was an arrow. There's going to be another arrow showing what's happening, and I quite like this one. You see it just circled something important in the experiment, and just to see here. You couldn't see quite well the results, but it's easy for me to take that file from this tablet and have a picture of it that was just added here. And then finally, there's another text box that happened here. And this text box is a little special. It tells the student, go write down your observation on eClass and click here to keep going. And you can see that my cursor is now this little hand. And if I click on it, then the video will keep going. It's just paused. So this little bit of interaction was really easy to do, and you add it into Camtasia onto that text box, and you just program it to say, well, pause the video until you click on it, and then it resumes the video. Moving on to, this is the Camtasia platform right here. I already put a clip from, a raw clip from the lab, and I want to show you a bit some things you could do. For example, zooming in and out. So this is a custom way to do it. See, I added this little arrow, and I'm going to tell the program at the end of the arrow, I actually want you to zoom this image, and let's recenter it. Like that. And then so when you play it, you will see that this is going to happen as it's going through the arrow. This one's going quite slowly. You can have it going faster. It's moving my image and it's zooming it like I asked it to do. Another thing that was really convenient is you can cut your video. So here I cut it in half. Let's say that I don't want to have this front part here. I could cut it again. I could remove this, take it out, and put these back together. So a lot of cutting. I use that a lot. You can freeze the frame at the beginning or at the end of one of those clips. So here, if we want to freeze the beginning, I do it like this, and if I play it, you'll see that now it's frozen. So it's quite convenient if you have to do a narration or explain something that takes a bit longer. You can do it in that time, adjust the time to whatever you want, and then the video keeps on playing after that. And you can also play with the sound bar. You could bring it down or up, as you can see here. You can easily remove sounds that you don't want in your video. I see there's a little blip here, and let's say this is a noise that happened when you were filming. Maybe your phone rang, maybe you messed up and you said something you weren't supposed to say. You can easily remove that. I just added here these 4 points in the audio line, and let's say that I'm just gonna move these ones down here to 0. You can move them a lot closer like that if you want, and bring this one up here, and I should be able to bring this one closer by, and then so it just kind of mutes your video for like sometimes half a second. That's all you need to make something a little bit cleaner, and you won't even notice it when you listen to the video. So instead of having to refilm a whole experiment, which will take you maybe half a day, there's a lot of things that we could fix in Camtasia to have a bit of a better sounding video. And now moving on to animations, transitions. I used only 2 types of transition. This is the flip the screen one to show that time has passed. You have here an extraction. Now, by the end of the year, they know what this is, and I don't need to show the whole process. And then you just saw it. It flipped. It showed the beginning of it. It shows the end. The students understand that time has passed. Oh, you see there's a zoom here. And that's for the flip, how you could show passing time. And one last neat thing that I want to show is how we managed to show the melting points experiments. This is the very first time of the semester they did it, and this is 3 videos on top of each other. You have a video of this here that I had recorded. You time it right to the temperature that you were using, and then this is a video of the melting compounds that are inside the apparatus. So through the eyepiece, we actually managed to get some pretty good images, and you can overlay all this, and they can actually record their own reading. So it varied a little bit depending on the students. This is showed at 1 time the speed. It's not accelerated. They just had to be patient, or just take this and move it along. I think I made this one a little long, and then they could see the melting of the compound and record.